Fox News alert on a new challenge to the Obama administration over the murder of 4 Americans in Libya. Moments ago, 4 top Republican senators sent a letter to UN Ambassador Susan Rice seeking clarification on her very public statements that the September 11th terrorist attack in Benghazi, Libya this year was the result of a, quote, spontaneous reaction. The letter says in part, writes in part, quote, in the aftermath of the September 11th terrorist attack in Benghazi that resulted in the death of 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens, you made several troubling statements that are inconsistent with the facts and require explanation. We look forward to a timely response. Those statements involved Ambassador Rice appearing on several national news broadcasts in which she blamed a spontaneous protest for the murders. But as more and more information came to light, including this video of attackers at the U.S. compound with rocket-propelled grenades and clearly no protest around them, it has become clear that that was not the case and the information was not accurate. Senator Barrasso, a Republican from Wyoming, yesterday said on Fox Business News that this is looking especially suspicious.
I sit on the Foreign Relations Committee. We had a top-secret briefing on what happened in Libya. I think they're either stonewalling, but to me it seems like there's a cover-up going on, that they don't want the American people to know what really happened there.
Joining me now, Monica Crowley. She's a radio talk show host, and Kirsten Powers, who's a Daily Beast columnist. Both are Fox News contributors. So that's a strong and charged term, cover-up. I mean, that's going pretty far out there on a limb to say that there's an active cover-up by this administration to keep the truth from us. Does he go too far, Monica?
Well, I think there are many members of Congress, and I think a lot of the American people who are extremely frustrated, Megan, that we have essentially been lied to for a week after these attacks, which happened on 9/11.
But why do you go to the lying place as opposed to the incompetent place, the misstatement place?
Well, look, it's either gross incompetence and negligence, or in fact they are lying. And what we now know is, and the report today out of the Daily Beast reporting, is that U.S. officials knew within 24 hours that this was an organized al-Qaeda attack, and they had enough information, Megan, to actually target at least one of the attackers who launched this murder and assassination of our ambassador and 3 other Americans. So if they have that information enough to mobilize against the attackers, then why were key members of the U.S. administration going out there and lying to the American people that, well, it wasn't a premeditated attack, it wasn't pre-planned, this wasn't a terror attack, and we're still to this very day, over a week later, we're still hearing mixed messages from the President, Secretary of State, right on down.
Yeah, the administration, the spokesperson for the White House said it's self-evident that it was a terror attack, but the President hasn't exactly gone that far. Kirsten, Monica references your employer, the Daily Beast, and its reporting on this. It does matter what the administration saw and knew before it sent Susan Rice out to tell us all that this was about a protest.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I had been saying that either they were lying or they were dangerously incompetent and clueless, and even just clueless because I think it was sort of self-evident as the White House came to say that this was not some sort of spontaneous uprising, and there had already been some reporting saying that nothing was happening outside of the consulate before the attack. Now that Eli Lake has written this story at the Daily Beast, which I commend to everybody, I am much more inclined to say that they're lying and that there's a cover-up, because Eli is an excellent reporter. He has 3 separate sources in the intelligence community saying that they knew within 24 hours, not just that they were al-Qaeda, not just that it was planned, which is contrary to what Susan Rice said over and over and over again, but they even had pinpointed one of the people. So this is how much information they had. Now how the administration would not have had this information from the intelligence community doesn't quite add up.
Obviously, we have to be concerned because it's an election year. And, you know, politics may be at play here. Although I'll tell you, I had a Republican House lawmaker on the other day who said he does not believe that this is politics. He thought it was incompetence, but he didn't think that the administration was playing politics with our national security. Monica, do you think, you know, would you go that far?
Well, yeah, I actually would, because look, we have this evidence now, and we're getting it from the Daily Beast, obviously, but it's not a big mystery here. This attack took place on the anniversary of September 11th. It was directed at the United States. It was a terrorist attack. We knew it was al-Qaeda within 24 hours, or at least the intelligence communities knew.
But let me just jump in, because a lot of Americans may be thinking that it's too cynical and it's too harsh to attribute to the administration the willingness to lie about a terror attack just so the president could get a second term.
Yeah, well, it's not beyond the pale here. This president has lied almost from day one since he's been president. But there's one other piece of evidence here. Al-Zawahiri, who is now the new head of Al-Qaeda, put this message out to Al-Qaeda that we should be attacked on 9/11. So when you put all of the pieces together, and then the fact that the administration knew within 24 hours that this was in fact a terror attack, then they go out for a week and they're still giving us these mixed messages, you can only assume that they don't want the American people to know that a terror attack, and a successful one, had been launched on the September 11th attacks. He is running for re-election. He is running strongly on a foreign policy national security platform because he cannot run on the economy. So if that is taken away from him, he's got nothing. That's why you're getting the lies.
Go ahead, Kirsten.
But honestly, I would prefer lying over incompetence, to be completely honest, just as an American citizen who is concerned for my safety and the safety of other people, because the incompetence one is more damning. The fact that they have attacked CNN for finding this journal and using information in it that showed that the ambassador was fearing for his life from who? Al-Qaeda, when they've been telling us that the war on terror is dead because Osama bin Laden is dead. The fact that the State Department didn't do something to protect him, knowing that he had these concerns. These are things that are very troubling. The fact that they did not go to the scene of the crime, the terrorist attack, and recover anything that might fall into the hands of terrorists that could be used against the United States, and instead CNN went to the scene. So there are so many things that are so troubling that whether it was lying or incompetence to me is almost beside the point. They just need to give us the information about what really happened, and are they connecting the dots? Are they looking at this and saying, you know, we had some pre-9/11 attacks that we now in hindsight know were, you know, we should have seen as a warning. You know, are you looking at this and trying to understand the context of this attack?
And that's why in part that these lawmakers are now seeking to get the actual cables, the communications between Ambassador Stevens and the State Department prior to his assassination, so they can see whether he was raising, whether he was raising the concerns expressed in that journal to his employers and asking for an increased level of protection. Monica, you get
that's right. Yeah, no,
10 seconds,
when the charge of cover-up is raised, you have to ask then, what are they covering up? Why was Ambassador Stevens going to a very dangerous part of Libya, Benghazi, in the middle of the night? Why were those two former Navy SEALs not protective detail? Then if they weren't protective detail for the ambassador, what were they doing?
Ambassador
we need
Bolton
to have all of these answers.
Was on set the other day, and he said when he was UN ambassador here in the United States, he had 3 security guards with him. Why wouldn't our ambassador sitting in Libya on 9/11 have at least that? And there are
what were
questions
they
about
doing
whether he
in
did.
Benghazi?
Ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And again, check out that Daily Beast piece, dailybeast.com.